last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. Evidence First AI in Consumer Health. One of her advocacy, none other than Ms. Apoorva Modali.
Hi, Daniel. Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Ms. Apoorva on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Sure. So I'm a principal data scientist at Walmart. I'm also a founder of Ovi's Lab, which is a science-based consumer health company. So we primarily focus on pregnancy and postpartum care right now. And we want to eventually get into family wellness, baby care, and kind of like holistic wellness, but backed by evidence first. So my background has always been in data science, operations research. My advanced degrees have also been in data science, operations research, and lately I have been focusing a little bit on AI. So we built a few AI agents at my workplace, as well as I use AI productivity tools, assistance tools, and just regular ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude. In my day-to-day founder journey at Ovis Labs. So I'm originally Indian and I live in California, Sunnyvale, California right now. So that's about me.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Apoorva. Thank you. And today, let's talk about applying evidence first AI to a real consumer health decisions. So tell us, you are the forefront of applying evidence first AI to consumer health. What does that phrase actually mean in practice, and why is it such critical distinction right now?
Yep, sounds good. So, evidence first AI is basically applying evidence first framework with the assistance of artificial intelligence, which kind of like speeds up the research process into finally developing products which are either topical, ingestible products, which are nutritional products, could be skincare, could be personal care, could be supplements that you take, pills, and could be beverages that you drink to for overall health and wellness. So in all of these categories you have products which need to be formulated, but in reality, in the real world, like no one's looking at an evidence first framework. So how these products are made is either looking at marketing trends or hero ingredients or competitors and what they're doing, and then brands come up with these products. So instead, evidence first AI application in consumer health like talks about is what we do at Ovis Lab as well, is a methodology which utilizing AI you follow to finally end up with a product formulation, putting evidence first and building into it like other constraints like safety, delivery format, and things like that.
For decades, consumers made health decisions based on marketing claims, word of mouth, or Dr. Google. How does evidence first AI fundamentally change that dynamic?
Right. So exactly what you said, right? So the for many decades like this has been happening, and evidence when I say evidence first, like we are not directly jumping into evidence. So it starts with a problem definition. So first you got to identify what problem are you dealing with. It can be anywhere from like dehydration on your skin, or lack of energy, or on a regular basis, or chronic lack of milk supply in a lactating woman. So any product, so any problem, you start by defining the problem statement and the intended population. So intended population is like age, demographic, and in the case of low milk supply, you could the population would be postpartum women or lactating women. So it starts with problem statement, and then moves on to, for each of these problem statements that we've identified, if it's one or more, then you go and find out the plausible causes, like hypothetical causes. So not exactly what caused it, but what are the different factors that could be influenced by it. This is by looking at scientific literature, clinical studies, medical forums, and things like that. And then from then on, from the causes, we move into coming up with functional requirements, like what does it need to be changed or supported in your body for the problem to go away. And then this again can be researched in and gotten the information. We can get this information from like literature, medical forums, discussions, studies, both dermatological and biomedical studies. And then you have functional requirements, and then from then you look into ingredients, and then you look at ingredient interactions, and then apply safety constraints. If something that shouldn't be put on your body or shouldn't be taken inside your body for a specific population that we're intending the product to be used on, then yeah, you should probably not include that ingredient in the final formulation. And then comes delivery format. Like, is it something that you're going to take as a pill? Is it something that you're going to apply on your skin? Is it something that you want to drink? So this is the delivery format and the constraints, and accordingly new ingredients can be added into the formulation. And then finally you have the final formulation, which you can then get it reviewed by either a contract manufacturer or a chemist or a formulation scientist or specialist, right? But whereas if you didn't have this evidence first approach, you would heavily depend on trends, you would heavily depend on the expert subjectivity, and you need to approach an expert for them to even come up with a formulation like this. So by having evidence first formulation, it's first of all scalable, traceable, and you can use it for any other product that you want to develop with the same framework, with using the same methodology, as well as you can it's repeatable. So every time you uh, take the steps, you end up with the same formulation. So it's a process that can be applied based on the problem, but not just based on like someone's idea, someone's a hero ingredient or trending marketing claim or things like that. So yeah, this is how we approach things in Ovi's lab as well.
Very well said. Very well said, Ms. Approval. It's estimated that 58% of consumers now use AI tools for product choices, and 67% would switch products based on nutritional information. How do you interpret these numbers? Are we at a true inflection point, or this still early adoption?
I want to make sure I understand your question. And what was your first statement? You said 50% of what exactly?
58% of consumers
Mm.
now use AI tools
Oh,
for product choices.
absolutely. I do that myself as well on a regular basis. So I believe like that number seems reasonable, because ever since, and majority, I'm thinking it's either like ChatGPT or other AI tools that are like available. You could just pull up your phone and then look up, hey, like I have this problem now. Can you recommend some products that are available? And then instead of going on Google and searching for I don't know, searching in a sea of products that there are, and then looking at all of their claims, their labels, and all of the ads that run on social media, I would say it's a better way to narrow down your search if you just want a few recommendations. Like, and I have done it myself, and the number doesn't seem quite unreasonable to me.
Hmm, interesting, Ms. Purva. You've said that the proof not promise drives decisions in a new wellness economy. What happens to brands that build the business on marketing hype when AI becomes the primary decision making tool for consumers?
Um, I guess there is that's actually a very interesting question. Um, when AI becomes big enough and you have these brands which still work on traditional ways of making products, so far they have been pretty viable. So so far, like, that's how we've all bought products. We've all bought products based on something we saw on the internet or social media, and then we like the product, or someone else is talking about it, an influencer is talking about it, and you research on it, you do a bit of search, and then you like the product, and then you buy it. So I don't necessarily think the market viability of products which are made on marketing claims just goes away like that, because there is a reason they've worked for so many years, and they're probably going to work. That heuristic method, or that traditional method of making final products, is probably going to work for a few more years, even though AI is going to be taking up. Because even when you search on an AI tool, right, it's going to go on to from it's going to go into top a few websites and gather information from the internet and give you product choices. So if some brand has already made their marketing claims and they're big enough and the products are out there for these AI tools to fetch them and recommend to the user, then the user is probably still going to buy them. And if the product is like is not non-irritable, it's non-toxic, it's well tolerated, and people like it, I still think they're going to buy it. So not necessarily these claims, sorry, these traditional ways are going to be replaced, but evidence first way is a different way to think about it, right? Like a novel way to think about it, and you're taking away a lot of expert reliance. Someone like me, who's not a chemist, who's just an AI person, who's just a data scientist, can go in and then buy, sorry, and formulate these kinds of products. Whereas, like earlier, it was not possible. You had to go to a specialist, you had to go to a chemist, and you had to go to a formulation person to, or contract manufacturer for these products to be made.
Very well said, Miss Pura. So let's talk about the actually works under the hood. When an AI tools makes a health recommendation to a customer, what is the chain of evidence that supports that output from a raw data to personalized advice?
Hmm. Um, So we're not talking about the evidence first method, right? Like you're asking about when a person goes in and then asks about, hey, here's a problem that we have. Like, how does that translate in that AI tool into a personalized advice?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, AI tools basically look up their information on the internet, and whatever is available on the internet, you can be specific about it. That you can customize things. You can tell the AI tool, "Hey, I just don't give me generic information from the most popular websites, but go in a specific direction. Just only look at medical forums, or only look at people's experiences on Reddit or on Facebook or wherever, whichever place that is. Only look at clinical studies and then give me recommendations." So you can make such, you can give such prompts to your AI tool to make your personalized recommendations a little more focused and science based if you want it to be, or it can be experience based, other people's experience based, or any other factor that you may want to include in your final personal recommendation. But if you don't give the AI tool any direction, it's just going to go and look for the most populous, most popular websites, and then just gather information that it can find quickly, because it also, they're also incentivized to give you information as quickly as possible and as right as possible.
Miss Apurva, as a evidence first AI in consumer health advocacy, what are your short term and long term goals?
My short term goal would be to actually make sure that, like, I can prove to myself and the world that the evidence first method works, and it has worked already at Ovi's lab. We use this method in 2 to 3 pregnancy and postpartum related products already, and we took the final formulation to contract manufacturers and showed them it and said, like, hey, what do you think, is it feasible? And every in all of the products it was feasible, and then it was stable. And when we went on to making the product, then we probably had to tweak it a little bit. There was a little bit of iteration that had to be done. Hey, the pH had to be adjusted, or like, oh, this is too thin. We want the consistency to be a little different. So these type of subjective decisions had to be made. But the just in terms of the functionality of the product, whatever formulation that we came up with through the evidence first framework really worked, and that kind of proves to myself and to the company folks that, like, hey, this is something that anyone from a company, anyone who's interested in formulating a product, who doesn't have the scientific or chemical knowledge to do it, can can utilize AI as an assistant and then like make the formulation. So that's kind of my short term goal. My long term goal would be to develop a family wellness brand and have enough and have and gain people's trust in the brand's safety and as well as efficacy. So I think like to build trust, especially when you're using AI in this moment, it's a hard thing to do. But you have to be transparent. You have to talk to people about like how your products are formulated, and then slowly build their trust in the way that we do things, as well as the products need to be effective and safe and non-toxic for the population that we're intending to sell to. So yeah, that's kind of a long-term goal that we have, that I have.
Good luck to your goals, Miss Purva, and looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Oh, I would say, I guess like because we're in the world of AI, there are so many applications to artificial intelligence, right? So I would say just get your hands dirty with as many tools, AI tools, and apps that are out there that you can, that you can use in your daily lives, be it from like scheduling your day, your meetings, planning your meals, your workout tracking, whatever it may be, like your regular day-to-day activities. Like I feel like someone could utilize more of AI, as well as like try to like ask questions in any domain that you're interested in. I was interested in consumer health and wellness, so this is kind of direction that I took. If you're interested in there, you just gotta like get more information, like talk to people who are already in consumer health, and utilize accelerated AI research to just find out what's going on, what are the new trends, like what's going to happen in the next few years. So yeah, your interest and trying to learn about the applications of AI, I would say, would really help like spark those new ideas, and maybe you can implement them.
Good luck to your goals, and thank you for that empowering advice, Miss Purva. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
um I'm not a big book reader, but throughout my grad school, I have read a few books which I have used as. I mean, we had to uh, write assignments and then read them cover to cover, just so like we understand what is data science, what is operations research, what is systems thinking. So I believe like what influenced this evidence first AI the most is systems thinking. So there is this one book that we had read in grad that I had read in grad school, which is The Systems Thinker by Albert Rutherford. So that was definitely very interesting. So it can be systems thinking can be translated to anything, right? And this framework that I explained to you is also a way of it's a design, it's a systems design, it's a decision systems design that I took from my own data science and decision science background and kind of applied to consumer health product formulation. So I would say that one book really influenced it, and it's generic enough that people can understand and apply in other domains as well. So that's one thing that I would definitely recommend.
Thank you for the recommended books, Miss Approval. So there's a tension between the speed and the rigor. AI can now help draft health claims in hours instead of weeks. How do you maintain the competent and reliable scientific evidence standard when moving at the startup speed?
Oh, that's a very good question because AI tools, AI in general, like hallucinates a lot. And just because one of the AI tools incentives, like as I said, is to give you an answer as quickly as possible. So it kind of like makes up things, sometimes information which is not to be relied upon. So that's why I say I've written about this evidence first formulation design. And I think it's very important that human judgment is still retained at every step. It doesn't have to be from experts, it just can be like an operator or a product person, or anyone like you and me. So that's where like every step that you're taking, or taking your take the that your AI tool is taking you through, I think there still has to be an element of human judgment there, whether this makes sense or not. Okay, if something doesn't make sense, probably like look into it deeper, or like go to another place to look for the right kind of information and things, so that we can make decisions like this. Maybe there'll come a time where human judgment can be completely replaced, but I don't see it as of yet.
Hmm. So, if a consumer follows AI health advice and suffers harm, who is accountable? The AI developer, the evidence source, or the consumer who made the choice? Or how should the industry think about liability?
Mm. Oh, it's a very loaded question. And I mean, it's kind of making me think as well right now as you talked about it, because your AI here is kind of working as your assistant, right? So now you as a brand or a consumer health company are putting out products for people to use, and you are making claims that it is going to work so and so, and it is intended to work for so and so population. It's intended for babies, it's intended for kids, or like older people, or people with such and such chronic diseases. So it's the business or the company that is utilizing AI, but ultimately putting out the products with their names, their label on it. So I think liability definitely falls on the brands and companies that are putting these products out. And if a consumer suffers from an adversity just from using a brand's product, so it's the brand's responsibility to correct it and correct the formulation. They would be liable for it.
And Ms. Apurva, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, and of course my book one on review in sixth season too, comedy 101 fourth season, and my food 101 in sixth season as well, geography 101 love letters, movie 101 review, music 101 fifth season, Science 101, Sex 101, fourth season, and of course, my Trivia 101, Spiritual Awakening, Entrepreneurship 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Comedy 101, and my Bible Verses 101 are my baby podcasts. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. So, Ms. Apurva, tell us, looking 10 years out, what does the world where evidence first AI is the default for consumer health decision actually look like? What is the best case scenario of human health, and what keeps you up night?
Mm. I would say 10 years from now, my ideal scenario of the world like would be to have, I mean, if evidence first AI is everywhere, right? So you talk to an AI tool and just say, hey, this is the problem that I'm kind of having, right? And there is recommendations which we already get right now, personalized recommendations, but completely based only on already carried out research, whether in clinical studies or in scientific literature. So I think that would be pretty ideal because you don't have to worry about a lot of like brands who are just churning out products left, right, and center just so they could meet their top lines or bottom lines, and just make money out of them without actually thinking about their functionality and safety. So I think like if we ever get there, I would yeah, I would think every single recommendation would be based on evidence, and that would be great.
That would be great for sure. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your projects, or anything you want to promote on Book 101 Review?
Sure. So you can learn about me obviously on my LinkedIn page, and I also post about my founder journey on Medium. So please follow me on Medium. We have our website, which where you can find all of our products. We are going to come up with like a couple more lactation and stretch marks related products soon, in the next 2 to 3 months, and these can be found on ovislab.com.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Apoorva Modali because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering advocacy like this to rise. So, Miss Apoorva, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Daniel.
What can people see you soon?